And it also, these can be very casual. So just because I hit record doesn't mean anything. Yeah, anything's different. um, do you want to continue from what you were just about to say, or do you want to go to the some of the prompts, or what feels good to you?
You know, I kind of forgot what I was saying, but I think
Capitalism. It was like,
capitalism.
yeah.
Trying to find like between your heart, what you want to do with your heart and what you have to do with the wallet and the mind.
Yeah.
Um, but, you know, ultimately, I think, I mean, it's nice when you can feel, when you can kind of lean on the universe and just see what she's whispering to you, and being able to fall and feel caught. Like that's best case scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a really funny time. Um, we can. Do you want me to just like say hey, like
Yeah, yeah,
who I
yeah.
am?
We should probably give context. This is Amanda.
I'm Amanda.
Way back.
Oh my gosh, I was trying to count Kate, and 18, 18
18
years.
years? Wow, that's
Two,
almost half my age.
yeah, yeah,
No, wait, that is more than half my age. I'm 35.
yeah. Same. 18 years is when we started going to school together, and that's when I met you. Um, and I
Oh, wow.
feel like
Okay,
a
yeah,
totally different person. I feel like it's two lifetimes ago, but here we are.
yeah, I know.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. Well, can you just give us a little brief, like, what do you do in the world?
What do I do? Okay, I my name is Amanda Anuraga, and I own Tacoma East Asian Medicine. I just opened my own clinic on 6th Avenue as of last September. I have a private clinic there, and then I have been running the free Hilltop acupuncture clinic in Hilltop, obviously, since June. And all monies raised in that clinic are being given to the family of Manuel Ellis. So I think we've raised almost $5,000,
Oh my
maybe
God.
maybe close to six. And this is all from the community, right? So
Yeah.
so great, so wonderful.
Wow. So
Some
cool.
people pay, some people don't, but the my my purpose, um, above and beyond helping financially, I mean, a drop in the bucket for what the Ellis family is having to deal with and go through, but making this medicine accessible, making it accessible to communities that might not know about acupuncture and its benefits as an alternative to pain medication, mental health support, that kind of thing. So, really trying to focus on the BIPOC community in that area, and also, well, really the QT BIPOC community in that area. So, it's been really great. Lots of newbies, lots of first-time acupuncturists. So brave to come to a community clinic for your very first experience. But it's great. We have a lot of people that come back again, and then some that eventually become patients in my private clinic, which is nice too.
That's awesome. Yeah, I guess I had probably known this somewhere in my mind, but I was so shocked again to see like the meridians of the ear. Because,
Yes.
yeah, since it's community clinic, you do all like body parts that are easy to expose. Right?
Yes. Yep. Yep. Ears and limbs and head.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's incredible what like those couple of points in the ears can do for the whole body. Um,
It's pretty amazing.
yeah, that's so cool. Well, and so each of these conversations I loosely opportunities to talk about or connect and sort of share resources on different values of health and cultural restoration and trauma resilience. And you picked the theme of stability and sustainability, um, which we've been talking a little bit about. But do you want to share a little more, like how did those land for you, or what speaks to you about those as values or as principles that you find yourself growing your own practice on?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think that it really resonated for me in the list because it's something that I've been most challenged with
Mm,
also myself.
mhm,
And I feel like sometimes, um, I don't know if you've experienced maybe with clients of your own, but sometimes I'll come to clinic and then I'll see three patients that are going through similar situations that I have, and then it's just very heart resonating where it's like, oh, okay. And it's amazing that sometimes we can show up for others in a way that might not be um, the same as how we show up for ourselves. And
yeah.
so that is very interesting to me. Um, but really, talking about, I mean, I think we can go a lot of different places with stability and sustainability, but I think that something that really resonated with those two words is just even the practice, the practices of East Asian medicine, of learning about um, what is the purpose of East Asian medicine, what is its goal. It's not take a pill and go home and be numb. And it's not band-aid care, really. Sometimes it is band-aid care, you know, if you're really hurting in a way. um, but the goal is to leave the clinic stronger than you came into the clinic. So by being able to find the areas in your life where you have vulnerabilities
Mm,
and being able to fortify those areas where you have vulnerabilities, um, with East Asian medicine, we're able to create a foundation, a stable foundation in your body so that you can be more sustainable,
mm,
so
mhm,
that you can be fortified, you can be more resilient in your own body, to keep going on and on and on.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, how I kind of know what I think about this, but like how, and I guess you've been speaking to it, but like how is that how is that different? Um, like how are than kind of the cultural mainstream, or like,
Yeah.
and how do you are you finding people responding to that? Um,
It's really interesting. I think we in the interview process, we ask a lot of questions. We ask a lot of questions. And it's way more questions than maybe you might be asked of your normal doctor. And people are like, why the heck do you want to know about my poop? Why do you want to know?
poop is so important.
It's so important. I talk about poop all day. People are like, I don't want to gross you out. I'm like, oh,
Let's go there.
let's go there. I have heard almost everything, but yet I can never cease to be surprised. So, um, well, things can happen for a lot of different reasons,
Yeah.
right? So you have five people maybe go into your primary care doctor for a headache. And maybe, if it's a reasonable primary care physician, they might talk about, what kinds of, and I'm definitely not anti Western medicine. Absolutely not at all. I just want to preface saying that because there is a time and a place. And I think there's a lot that we can learn from each other to increase the fortification of our bodies, right?
Hmm.
That being said, you know, three people go into a doctor's office, and this is not like the beginning of a joke. This is like
Could be a good one though. You might hear my kitty. I'm just gonna open the door real quick.
oh yeah, sure. And so one might come in and say like, oh, my head hurts. And the other comes in and says, oh, my head hurts. And the other comes in and says, they all have headaches, right? They're all coming in. And they might leave with like bottles of naproxen or, muscle relaxers or something. But the idea with East Asian medicine is to find out, why are those headaches happening? Like, is this happening because of your cycle? Why is it happening because of your cycle? Did you have direct trauma to your head or something that happened 10 years ago? Are you dehydrated? There's lots of reasons, other deeper root reasons. There's root issues and branch issues, and we like to get to the root of the matter so that the branches will then kind of fix itself. So it's interesting, instead of getting Band-Aid treatments, I wouldn't say that it's sustainable, because in a way you're ignoring the pain, and whatever is causing the pain, you're actually harming, right? After a while. I mean, not to say, not even to mention like digestive stuff that happens with pain medications and addiction and all these other negative aspects to that kind of healthcare, which is unfortunate. But
are you finding
yeah.
that you like are, I mean, I know we're in like the Pacific Northwest and kind of a little more hippieville or whatever, like, but are you finding that there's a lot of education that goes with your practice, or are people like kind of down with, non-Western medicine? Are they finding you? Are you having to put yourself out there? What's the landscape like?
Oh, I've been really fortunate. I think my practice has grown through word of mouth. I haven't done most marketing, but I have asked. I did some trades during COVID time. I saw a lot of restaurant workers, and they had lost their jobs, and I just wanted them to feel better. Everybody's going through, and so I saw a few people in my home, and instead of finances, they would write. I would ask them to write a Google review of their experience, and that investment of their energy has been really great, because I feel like maybe one or two people per month will come in from Google, from the Google.
Wow. The algorithm.
Yeah. So that's pretty amazing. I'm not like an algorithm person or whatever, but it's that's really interesting.
That's currency in this world.
It is. It really is. And I would say, we do live in an area where there's a wide berth of alternative knowledge that is acceptable, I would say. But education is super important in my clinic. Some people like the mystery, hide behind the mystery of just doing the medicine and like saying, see you later. But I want people to know, Ann Murphy was my acupuncturist when I first started. And I feel so sorry for her, because I asked so many questions.
Oh, good. I was one of those people too.
Oh gosh, so many questions. I was like, why'd you do that? Where are you doing? Wow, blah, blah, blah. She's like, you just need to go learn this stuff. And I was like, okay.
I guess I will.
Maybe that's what I need to do. Okay. But it's great. I think it's really, really important for patients to be a part of their healing journey. And maybe I've noticed maybe in older generations of patients, they want me to like tell them what to do and how to do it and when to come back. And sometimes my answer is like, we don't know how your body's going to respond. So check in with me in a couple days and we'll see what we need to do next. So it's more of a conversation with the body rather than telling the body what it needs to do,
Mhm.
which feels softer to me, but also like listening, actually listening, like engaging with that body of the patient.
Mhm.
Um, it's pretty great. Sometimes I never like to tell people what they're going to feel. You know, they're like, ah, what do the needles feel like? But the experience is so different from so many people. It's like some people feel little things, some people feel nothing, some people go to sleep, a lot of people go to sleep, some people see colors, like some people feel like whole body sensations. But that's kind of interesting to experience
Yeah, and
what it
sometimes
feels.
I notice I have always been surprised. Like I will feel like none of the needles anywhere except like that one spot feels like you just hammered it in or something. I mean, and then it passes, and it's
Yeah,
but it could feel differently on different days. And
absolutely.
yeah, there's what I think what I'm really hearing in that, and why I know that like there's some shared value here is like I hear the like letting each individual body kind of tell their own healing story, you know,
Yes.
um, and that's been really at the heart of building the sanctuary as a space, like a kind of a placeholder, like a nest where like a body can relax enough to tell its own story, to say, actually, this is what I need, or
Mm-hmm.
oh, actually, I do not need that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, and to in a way that like I think my dream or my desire in it is to kind of remember the like um I don't, the phrase that comes to mind is like sacred technology, like the sacred technology of our own physical bodies
Mm-hmm.
that is self-generating, that is self-healing, um, that is connected to the web of life in a way that is constantly bringing itself back into balance through things that may not look like that, like the death and rebirth, you know, like the pain and joy and kind of the whole spectrum of that that is somehow still a part of the like the returning the harmony and the bringing into balance, you know, like you know it's both the like glow of your skin and the texture of your poop that's like
Yeah.
part of the whole part of the whole story, like
Yes, it is. And somehow it's connected. It's like,
yeah.
wow. You know, I had this really interesting patient and very, very was brought in by their spouse, right? Very not alternative medicine, but had just come to their wits' end. And I feel like we get a lot of that too. It's just like people that have tried everything
Mhm.
and nothing has worked. And so now they're here. And so I'm like,
Yes,
okay, no
my parents
pressure.
just went to acupuncture for that exact reason. They're like, I have this frozen shoulder, nothing's working.
Yes, yes. And it's like, no pressure, Amanda. Like, okay,
Yeah.
like this person has tried
You
everything
have
and
one
now
shot to prove that acupuncture works here.
you have 1 hour.
Yeah.
You have 5 needles
Yeah.
to
Yeah. You
try to
have to
make
move
this.
wisely.
But
Yeah.
actually, I think so. We were talking about it before. I was telling you about my teacher, Dan Bensky, and Marguerite Dinkins, how they there's this style of acupuncture that's engaging vitality, and the whole idea is that the idea that our channels, our meridians, are palpable, and some acupuncturists don't believe that. They don't believe that you can feel the channels.
What do you mean, like palpable externally? Or
Yes, it's kind of like the best the best way that I can describe it is like you've watered a garden before. You've held a hose in your hand, and you can tell that there's water flowing through it, but you can't see the water. It's like that. It's kind of like just tuning in your palpation dial to that. And there's other steps involved in it too. And I could talk about it all day, obviously, but the ability that we can feel channels and assess them is making me like what you just said about that inner connectivity, like being able to really feel what's going on inside rather than like reading a book, picking out 10 points that we think might feel, you know, okay, and then just like see you in 2 weeks, hope that helped out. But this kind of acupuncture gives us the ability to have a conversation with the body. Like, okay, I want to do this point. How did that feel? It felt good, by using osteopathic examination stuff too. So
like actually in the moment checking, how did your body just respond to that thing?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. To be like, oh, okay, yeah, this felt like it made a positive change. Okay, let's keep going. Like okay, that felt like that wasn't a positive change. Nothing happened. Like, let's course correct. And but we're having that conversation. Like, that was helpful. And I think that, yeah, as individuals, like my teacher Marguerite, she was so, I don't know why, she like totally called me on it. She was like, hey, what if you treated yourself like a limited resource? What would that look like? Talking about sustainability, right? Like, there's only one Kate Fontana. Like, you are a limited resource. There is nobody else on this earth like you. How would you treat yourself if you knew you were the last living Kate Fontana in the whole wide world?
Oh my God, when you put it that way, I'm gonna take a bath right now.
No. Oh my God, I need 3 glasses of water and I need.
Yeah. What did that do for you?
I got really quiet. And it kind of blew my mind just a little bit. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I was the last living Amanda in the whole wide world that had these passions and hobbies and joys and relations and loves around, maybe I should have slept an extra hour last night. Or maybe I didn't need to like scroll through Instagram or like.
Oh my gosh, that is really hitting me. Like, I feel it like right here, like the, yeah, I mean, it's sort of the inverse of like, you only have 6 months to live. What are you going to do with it? You know, like that, this is the more uplifting version of that, but it really hits me with the reality of like, well, that we're precious, you know, like we are precious.
Yeah.
And
yes.
Yeah, I mean, so I was hearing you talk about the like the medicine you're providing itself and this like the stability and sustainability underneath that. And now I'm hearing you talk about it like as a practitioner. Or and even just as a human. And I don't know if this pertains to, but like what arises for me is like as a woman, as a brown woman, you know, like what that those pieces of like sustainability, preciousness, your limited resourceness, just really, it kind of just really brings that home.
Yeah. Like,
so did you like do something different or did it?
I think, you know, did I do something different? I think at first it was like too much information. I was like, whoa, that's a lot of pressure, but it doesn't have to be like that, you know? Yeah. It can be like, if I was the last living Amanda in the whole entire world that can do the things that I do and love the things that I love. And, maybe I would take my dog on a longer walk, or like, maybe not hit the snooze button and maybe get up and stretch,
Mm,
or, maybe make sure that other brown and queer people in my community have access to healthcare,
mm,
in a way that's reliable and dependable, um, and accessible. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I want my community to be better than when I was here. What does that mean to be, how can I have my actions be regenerative, so that when the last Amanda is gone, what does that mean?
Mhm.
What's important to me? But also, like, being alive is kind of important. And like, what do I need to do? I need to get the body work that I need. I need to get my acupuncture every month reliably. That's what makes me feel like I can have, my cup full,
Mhm.
so that we can continue to regenerate and support people in our community, support ourselves so we can support our community.
Mhm.
That whole idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I really see that as you modeling to the like the desire for like inherent worth, inherent valuing of anyone you will see, like each of your patients. And um, I think you were saying this earlier that like it's easier to prescribe the thing when we see it in others,
Yes.
and then like yeah, way harder to implement. I think maybe more so for like femme conditioned folks that are like
Sure.
very ex others needs oriented. Um, and yeah, so that feels really important as a yeah, someone who's like teaching healing, offering healing, and also
Mhm.
like practicing modeling that in your care for yourself. And
But also being able to see people. I mean, it's a privilege that I have, that I get to see people go through these healing journeys that's separate from mine,
yeah.
but also feels supportive, where I can say, I really thought that was beautiful how they chose to live their life in this way, or it was beautiful how they chose to make time for themselves to do this. Like, I want to do that.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm going to do that too.
Mhm.
And so we get to like grow and be healthier and be more resilient together.
Mhm. Yeah. I am I hearing this right that it's not so the like the healing process isn't hierarchical in that way. It's not or
Yes.
one directional. It's
Yeah. Oh, yes.
yeah, it's like definitely reciprocal, mutual. There's energy being exchanged on both ends all the time. And
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think that, you know, energetically, like, we're taught to have healthy boundaries, right? So there's that part of like, what's yours is yours, what's mine is mine. Also, we're human, and also we have these threads of like love and compassion that we can share with people, that we can exchange with people in all kinds of ways. Um, but yeah, it is really, I think at the end of the day, some days are long, but most days are like, wow, like this was really, really great. Like, I learned a lot of things about people today.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah, awesome. I wanted to ask you if let me go to my little list again.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so like maybe either of these that speak to you. Like, is there a lesson that you're learning right now around sustainability or stability, or is there like a simple practice? Um, Maybe those are related. Something that you want to offer for if people listen to this in the future. Um,
Yeah. I
yeah.
think I think yes, and I
Yeah.
think it's a yes and. Like, I think
Love that. Non-binary. Non-dual. Yes. Always.
yes and absolutely. It's so I think that the component of being sustainable and stable as a human is reflective of your ability to allow yourself care. So what does that look like to so many? I mean, it's different, right? Self-care, blah blah blah, everyone talks about self-care, but it's so different to everybody. Like, it could be brushing your teeth in the morning, it could be drinking a glass of water, it could be working out for an hour, it could be snuggling your dog for an extra 5 minutes. Like, I don't know what that looks like to everybody, but for me, what I've been doing is trying to do a small meditative practice in the morning. So it kind of just looks like, okay, alarm goes off, turn off the alarm, turn on the meditation. I like to do guided meditations because I don't like to think about it. I just want someone to tell me what to do. And that's freeing for me. It's not for everybody, but that feels good, that I can just lay there and think about stuff and then feel really good afterwards. And it's like 5 or 10 minutes. And that's how long I would have pushed the snooze button anyways. So, instead of, when you sometimes, like, you hit the snooze button and you go into a really deep sleep and then you have to wake up again and it's just like very disorienting.
You're like more tired than you would have been.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm over it. I don't want to do that anymore. So I started doing this meditation thing, and I find that maybe this is a part of the stable piece too, is like, there's so much shit happening. So much stuff happening in this world.
We're not anti-swearing here.
Okay.
Go for it.
There's so much coming at us all the time, like, there's a lot. It's just really hard to be right now, that when we can find that sense, that stable center where it's quiet and we can just kind of like have a little bit of intimacy with our inner quiet self, to be like, okay, let's just check in here for a minute with all this craziness happening around us. I feel like that's helped me kind of get through all the stuff that's happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to write down that phrase that you just used, and it's already kind of leaving me, but yeah, that touching into that stable center. And I think what I'm connecting it back to for like the work that I'm building is like support, like being able to support people in knowing that that place exists,
Yes, it's hopeful.
Yeah.
It's hopeful to even know that there's a place inside of you that's accessible and free and loving and limitless. And like, knowing, even just someone telling you that, but giving you a place to sit down and like get to know that place for yourself. Like, that's exciting to me.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that to happen.
Thank you. Oh, so good. Well, I do want to honor your time. We talked for like half an hour before we started recording anyway.
We had 18 years to catch up on. It's fine.
I know. Beautiful. But do you have any lingering thoughts or things that you want to, I don't know, banter about, or anything more about the clinic or the free clinic?
It's hard. It's just really hard right now to be.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like, it's hard, and there is support around, and don't give up on yourself or your health. You are your best advocate. And I feel like I see so many people at their wits' end, but I just cheer them on and say, even if I'm not the one to help you, like keep going because there's someone out there to help.
Mm-hmm.
And just hearing someone say that it's hard right now, like
Yeah.
there's moms that are working all day and watching their kids, oh, and also teaching their kindergartners and also trying to be a partner. And what the heck, they're an individual too. So like I have a few friends in my heart that I'm thinking of right now, and it's just incredible what we're expected to do
Oh my
right
God.
now. So I'm just sending my heart out to those that need a little bit more love, and don't give up. Don't give up. Be your advocate.
Yeah. Amen to that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Cool.
you're a limited resource. Remember that.
Yeah.
You're the only one in the whole wide world that's just like you, that loves the way you do, and that does the things as beautiful as you do them, and can do all the things that are uniquely wonderful. So love it and
Yeah.
care for it
Oh,
and treasure it because it's precious.
that's really good. Yeah. I'm taking that away too. I love that.
Mm.
Cool.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes. Thank you so much. I kind of started to say this earlier, but like I'm seeing this as like the little root system spreading out in the dirt to the neighbor trees over here who are doing the cool thing that we're doing in their own way. And yeah, like kind of feeling out to who's the forest, who's a part of the forest with me. And I have always seen you as that. We've coexisted
Mm.
in different worlds, you know,
It's true. It's
years.
true.
Um,
I'm so happy to be in your forest, Kate.
yeah, thanks. Mutually. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna stop the recording and